All right. So I haven't been live in a couple of days. I've been busy. Um, what I want to talk about though is the fight that just occurred a couple days ago, man. Alexander Usyk dominated Tyson Fury. If you ask me, I don't believe the fight was close at all. I only gave Fury rounds 5 and round 10. Every other round, Usyk dominated. Alexander Usyk asserted himself immediately with the straight left to the body, to the head, to the chest. Alexander Usyk was a better counterpuncher. Of course, his footwork was much better. He provided angles. Even when Alexander Usyk missed, whether he landed a punch or he missed a shot, rarely did he jump straight back. He would jump to an angle or he would pivot. Somebody said, stop rage baiting. I'm not rage baiting. I only gave Fury 2 rounds. The AI judge only gave Fury 3 rounds. I gave him 2 rounds. The only reason people wanted it to be a closer fight is because of nostalgia. Y'all remember Tyson Fury as being this great heavyweight. After Fury fought Deontay Wilder, he was never going to be great again. He was extremely slow in this fight. His reflexes are not the same. I'm surprised he didn't get dropped in this fight. He got hurt in the 6th round. Fury's feet, too slow. Fury had so much midsection, he was an easy target for the straight left of Alexander Usyk. He had no defense and no answer for that straight left. He got hit in the stomach repeatedly. He utilized the wrong game plan. Tyson Fury should have held and made it an ugly fight early on. Pot shot to the body, hold, put your weight on him. The early rounds aren't as remembered by the judges. They are not as remembered by the judges. So that's when you do the ugly stuff, the holding. Tyson Fury didn't really start holding until the 9th and the 10th round. His game plan was bad. Do you put Usyk top 15 if he beats Dubois? If Usyk beats Dubois and then goes back down to cruiser and fight Bertabiev and wins, or if Usyk beats Dubois and beats Bacoli at this age in his career, I'll put him as one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Said Max Kellerman versus KJ. Who y'all got? Max Kellerman is a talking head. KJ is an actual boxer. So you can't compare me to these other talking heads. I actually train, I actually box, and I'm actually one of the best. I'm actually going to do a video on Usyk versus Ali. They both won Olympic medals. I think Ali's was at light heavyweight, Usyk's was at cruiserweight. Usyk to me is better than Ali, but Ali is greater. Meaning, if Usyk and Ali fought, I would pick Ali to win. Ali has more talent, but Usyk is always in shape. He's always disciplined. We can't say that about Ali. Usyk is always focused for his fights. We can't say that about Ali. So Usyk is actually a better boxer than Ali, but Ali is greater. Ali had more tricks, more athletic. He had better footwork. Ali had some of the best footwork we've ever seen. He was the fastest heavyweight ever. His hand speed and foot speed and his reflexes. Ali was like Tyson Fury on steroids. Who had a better career, Ali or Usyk? Ali. Usyk, he's not fighting in the era for him to have a better career. In order to have a great career, like an all-time great career, you have to be born in the era where you are surrounded by other all-time greats. Ali was in the golden age for heavyweights, the golden era for heavyweights. Usyk is in one of the weakest eras for heavyweights. So Ali was larger than life, exactly. But ultimately, we have to give Usyk his flowers, man. Usyk is truly amazing. Say Charlo or Crawford. Crawford. Charlo, he doesn't even throw feints. You know what I mean? Like Crawford is going to feint him, catch him. But I don't think Crawford has any interest of fighting Charlo because, thanks Davon, but When Charlo ran from Canelo, he lost a lot of esteem in the boxing world. Crawford doesn't want to fight somebody that's a runner. It's not like Charlo's gonna make him a bunch of money. But if you're a real dog, then you're not gonna respect the man that runs. If Crawford gets in the ring with Canelo, I bet you any amount of money that he will not run. Even if Canelo has him hurt and knocks him out, Crawford will accept his fate. He's not going to start running. Triple G versus Hagler, take away nostalgic, and you know Triple G winning. I'm watching Hagler versus Duran right now. It depends which Hagler you're talking about, but Hagler was like Triple G if Triple G was a great athlete. Triple G had slow feet his entire career. Hagler's feet were fast. Hagler had the same trend as Triple G. Hagler had the same power as Triple G, maybe a little bit more. Hagler had a better jab than Triple G. Hagler had more tricks in his bag than Triple G. You know what I mean? Hagler had better defense than Triple G. Hagler was a switch hitter. So Hagler, he would beat Triple G. Hagler also fought better competition because he fought in the golden era when he was fighting. Said Triple G has more power. No, he doesn't. Triple G fought more bums. Hagler hasn't... Bro, Roberto Duran is a better fighter than Canelo. I'm going to say it again. Roberto Duran is a better fighter than Canelo. Triple G has never fought somebody like Roberto Duran. Triple G, if you look at his box rec, he fought way more bums than Marvin Hagler. Hagler got better comp, but that makes it harder to compare. No, it doesn't. It's easy to compare. It's easy to compare. They said Duran ain't better at 160. Not at 160, but overall, Duran has more skill than Canelo and a better resume than Canelo. That's true. Triple G didn't want that war smoke. Yeah, Triple G knows, bro. See, Triple G is a good fighter if he's matched up against fighters with no footwork. Just like Canelo. Certain boxers, they're great. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great. But their kryptonite is footwork. Styles make fights. The only time styles don't make fights is when you're dealing with truly legendary fighters that can fight efficiently in a multitude of styles. When you're dealing with truly legendary fighters that can fight efficiently in a multitude of styles, then styles don't make fights anymore. You feel me? Because they could change their style. But Triple G and Canelo, they can't change their style. So when they get in there with their kryptonite, which is a fighter who could box and move, a fighter with fast feet, what happens? They're going to lose. They're going to get outboxed. Didn't Ward fight at 168 and 175? Yeah, Triple G could have fought Ward at 168. He ducked him. Ward was so crafty that Triple G didn't want to have to deal with that. He didn't want to have to deal with a crafty fighter. Triple G wants you to be right there so he could jab his way in and then hit you with a bunch of power bombs. If you have defense to deal with that, then he's not going to want to deal with you. It's that simple. But I want to get back to this, man. 118, 110. 10 rounds to 2. I only gave Fury 2 rounds. Fury shouldn't feel bad, though. Fury is used to winning. So after the fight, he made a bunch of excuses and stuff like that. But he should not feel bad. You know why? Because Fury gave his all in the Deontay Wilder trilogy. So he's not even his best self anymore. It's time for him to hang it up. So I think Usyk won, but I give Fury 4 rounds. It don't matter if you give him... I only gave him 2. If you give him 4, it don't matter. He got dominated. 8-4. You know what I mean? 10-2. It's not really that big a difference. There was no point in the fight where you was like, wow, Fury is really giving it to Usyk. No diddy. There was no point in the fight. There's many times where you was like, damn, Usyk is putting it on Fury. There's no time in the fight where you thought Fury was putting it on Usyk. Fury got dominated. Was good, T. He got dominated for different reasons. Number one, the wrong game plan. He started holding too late. He should have been holding early on, slow down the tempo of the fight, and throw a lot of body punches on the inside to take away Usyk's legs. That's number one. Number two, he's getting older and he's damaged goods. Deontay Wilder took away a lot of his reflexes. Fury is a fighter that fights on reflexes. So as his reflexes slip away, he's going to be less and less capable of fighting at the highest level. He doesn't really have good fundamentals. Number three, the footwork, the foot speed, the overall speed. Usyk was 2 to 3 times faster than Tyson Fury. You know Usyk dominated. It was biased commentary. Not only was it biased commentary, but it was biased replays. The replays would show Tyson Fury landing one or two punches here when Usyk was countering him with combinations and landing cleanly. The replay barely wanted to show that. So that's a major problem. But it is what it is. The judges did their job. The AI judge was the best judge there. The AI judge said it was 9-3. Still got to watch this fight. I ain't seen it yet. I just got finished doing my voiceover for my Patreon page. Make sure to check out Patreon because I broke down this fight and I explained why it was 10-2. It was one of my more serious breakdowns, like one of my better breakdowns. So I have that on Patreon sometime tomorrow. Don't you want to see Fury versus AJ? No, I don't. He said I'm on the Patreon. Oh, thanks, Margiela. Tomorrow I'm gonna post this fight, so you're gonna get to see the entire fight. I broke it down. I show how Fury only won 2 rounds. Fury got dominated pretty much from the first bell. From the first bell, Tyson Fury got dominated, bro. He could not stop the left hand to the body. He could not stop the left hand to the chest. He couldn't stop the left hand to the dome at all. At all. He was too fat. You think Usyk should stay at heavyweight or go back to cruiser? He should stay at heavyweight. There's nothing at cruiserweight for him. Unless Beterbiev says, listen, I'm going up to cruiserweight to meet Usyk in the middle. That's the only way. Other than that, there's nothing popping at cruiserweight. Think about it. The biggest name at cruiserweight is Beterbiev if he leaves light heavyweight and goes to cruiserweight. Other than that, cruiserweight has no real legacy. Nobody cares about who's the best cruiserweight in the world. The way people look at it and the way I look at it is, if you're 200 pounds or 199 pounds, eat a burger, be 201 pounds, and fight heavyweight. That's what all the glory is. So you know about Janibek. Janibek is a 160-pound fighter that starves himself and has to go to the hospital because he doesn't want to fight 168, his natural weight class. They said Opetaya at cruiserweight. Yeah, Opetaya is at cruiserweight, but outside of boxing, nobody ever heard of Opetaya, and nobody will ever hear of Opetaya. If Opetaya wanted to make a name for himself, go to heavyweight. That's boxing. That's how boxing is. That's how it always will be. If you are a cruiserweight, you want to make a name for yourself, you have to go to heavyweight. Alexander Usyk, everybody's putting his name in lights because of what he's done at heavyweight, what he did to Fury, what he did to Joshua, you know what I mean, what he did to Daniel Dubois. Name somebody that he beat at cruiserweight. Name a big name that he beat at cruiserweight. You can't do it. You cannot do it.
Yo,
Brandon, what's up, man?
yo, what's that? You said what's that music? That's yo, that's you.
That's on you, bro. But yeah, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You saw my video?
Oh yeah, your video was hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Usyk put up a good performance.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off of Fury, man. Dominated him.
Yeah, bro. I make a couple videos, man. Boy, Liv was talking crazy. I had to adjust the
Is that guy
situation.
in Texas? Are you gonna be able to spar him?
I'm DMing him after this live. I'm gonna ask him to come.
He probably not gonna spar you because it's gonna be like double whammy. Like you already embarrassed him about getting beat up by that one kid. So
Yeah,
if you
bro.
beat up on him as well, it's gonna be embarrassing. So he probably
Bro,
not.
I seen Liv. He's slow. He's really slow. He's like extremely slow. And he not
Slow
good.
fighters. If you're a slow fighter, you gotta learn how to make it ugly. You gotta learn how to hide your shots better. If you're a slow fighter, you gotta be super strong and you gotta be able to take a good punch.
Yeah, and Left don't got no IQ either because when he sparred with Leak, he didn't go to the inside. Right, he tried to outbox a clearly way better boxer than him.
Yeah.
He got no
For
IQ.
somebody better than you, you gotta muscle up.
Yeah.
Andre Ward, he muscled up on Kovalev in the second fight. Not to say Kovalev was a better boxer than Ward, of course he's not. But Kovalev hurt Ward in the first fight, and Ward had to watch out for the power. So Ward muscled up on him in the second fight to assert himself and to show him that, I'm the alpha in the ring, I'm the dominant force here. So sometimes it's not even about who's a better boxer. Sometimes it's about who's stronger. You know what I mean? Who's dominant? Who came in there to be the alpha? Who came in there to dominate the other man? It's not even about who's better at a jab or who's better with combinations and stuff like that. Who has better footwork? Sometimes it's just about the energy and the force and the resistance that you're gonna put on another man. That's what we
Yeah,
saw in the war in the Kovalev fight. You get in there with somebody better than you, you got to go to the inside, like Brandon was saying, and you got to dominate him in that way.
yeah. He don't got no IQ. He was a thinker. He don't think. He don't think when you go. But yeah, I'm a DM him. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna come, but I'm a DM him, tell him to come chase it so he can spar. Cause everybody called out, they don't want to spar me. They trying to they about one. You know,
They don't
release.
want to spar you because they know you're gonna make the video of you beat them. You
Yeah,
know
and
they
you know
like, you know
the
what I
dude
mean?
at least that left spar right. Bro, I called him out too. I DM'd him. He said, "I'm gonna put you through a gauntlet, bro. And if you beat these guys, then you can like who, bro? You have one. You have a couple fights. You not like a big time dude. Who are you?
Yeah, a lot of people they try to play this matchmaker thing, and
The
it's like
gauntlet is like put you
you're
through a
not
gauntlet.
Floyd
What?
Mayweather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they think they big time. Like we both still like bro, like green, bro. What do you mean put you through a
What's that? How you
gauntlet?
feel about Brandon calling all these guys? It's good. It's good for Brandon's brand. No pun intended. But it's good for Brandon's brand. It's good for amateur boxing, and it's good for everybody that he talks about. They all get views. They all get mentions, and a lot of people are seeing them that wouldn't see him. So it's good.
Yeah, I saw a tweet the other day. I was going scrolling to Twitter. It was this dude. He got like a couple that follows Twitter. He was like this guy Brandon hyping up amateur boxing like it's never been hyped up before. He said at first it was like boring. Nobody was talking about it, but now since Brandon came on the scene, everybody started talking about it. All the boxers started getting kind of mad at Brandon. He said it's good for the sport of the
Yeah,
amateur.
I mean,
He
most
said
people.
because the amateurs don't talk, so it's a good thing. He said y'all may hate on him and y'all may think he's not good, but he's doing his thing out here.
Yeah, a lot of pros don't talk.
Yeah. So
A lot of pros.
yeah, that was cool. I didn't know like people knew me like that, like out there. So I was cool.
You'll be surprised. A lot of times, like, say we make a video on TikTok, your video may get 50,000 views, right? But
Yeah,
really, your video could have got 1 million views, but they don't want you to get 1 million views. You know what I mean? We black at the end of the day.
yeah. So
So a lot of
I shadow
times,
banned me. They said
you're a lot bigger and you're a lot more popular than you would give yourself credit for.
TikTok shadow banned me because I used to get that Showtime video I posted. They got like 200K, and then after that I want 2K, 5K, 8K, 10K, 12K, 14K.
I mean, they don't want. At the end of the day, we black. You know what I mean? It's an Asian app. It is what it is. But you're doing good, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and make sure that most importantly, like I told you, be a better boxer than your trash talk. So say if you talk trash talk crazy, you are the best. Be an even better boxer. That way, you really fuck their head up. I think
Yeah,
you're gonna be good though, man.
yeah. I'm training as hard as I can. I'm not training right now because Christmas, but
Yeah,
after
I mean,
this,
I know most of
yeah,
the gyms are closed anyway. How
yeah, it's
you know
cold.
Janet Beck should be at 168? Because Janet Beck was hospitalized because he couldn't make weight. He was trying to make
Oh
weight for
yeah, he
one.
needed to be at
He had to go
68.
to the hospital. That's how I know that he should be at 168. The only reason he doesn't go to 168 because he doesn't have the skill and the will and the self belief to fight men his own size. Most people they want to be bigger than the guy that they're fighting.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm training as hard as I can. Though once Christmas pass over, the gym open back up, get back to
Yeah.
training hard, working hard, sparring, do whatever. Yeah, but all these guys, they gonna spar me. I'm gonna make them spar me eventually. They gonna spar me eventually.
Said Boo versus
Ain't no putting me
Ward.
through a
I would have
gauntlet.
to go with Ward, bro.
Yeah,
Ward has a much deeper bag than Bivol. Bivol is dominant, but Bivol does the same shit over and over. That's why Bivol lost to Berturbiev because Berturbiev and Usyk they could jump in and out like this, but they also will put them damn hands up. You know what I mean? And Berturbiev doesn't do the my fault. Bivol and Usyk, Bivol and Usyk is what I meant. Berturbiev doesn't jump in and out. Bivol and Usyk, they both could jump in and out. But Usyk could put them hands up like this and walk you down. Beterbiev could put them hands up. That's how he fights and walk you down. Bivol cannot put his hands up and walk you down. Bivol only knows how to do that in and out movement and the jab behind it. So when you fight like that, what happens when you get tired? When Floyd used to get tired, what would he do? He would fight you in the pocket.
that's
Early
fact.
career, he
That's
would
fact.
move around, move around. You know what? I'm tired. Let me take 2 rounds off, but I still want to win. So they'll fight you in the pocket.
That's
Ali
fact.
get tired here, go on the ropes here, fight you from the ropes.
Yep.
Bivol doesn't have a go-to style when his legs gets tired from jumping in and out. He said Bivol's
Okay.
cardio is crazy. Everybody's cardio is crazy until they start getting hit, until they feel resistance. You know what I mean? I fought with a world champion. We did 4 rounds. Both of us retired after 4 rounds because we were both providing resistance. When you go in there and you just beat up on somebody, you're not gonna get tired. When another grown man trying to knock your head off and hit you in the liver, hit you in the kidney, hit you in the solar plexus, you're gonna get tired, no matter how in shape you are.
Okay, Jay, I was asking this to my friends. That we were asking, do you think Joe Lewis and Joe Frazier can beat Usyk?
Oh yeah, Joe Frazier, he probably could wear Usyk down, maybe, but Usyk has a lot of angles. You know what I mean? But remember, Usyk isn't even a real heavyweight. And Joe was used to dealing with Ali. The way that Joe would deal with Ali, he probably could get Usyk. I don't know. But Joe Lewis would knock Usyk all the fuck out. He was just
Nah,
not
you think so?
because, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Joe Lewis is a power puncher that knows how to box. Usyk has fought power punchers that don't know how to box, like Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua. Joe Lewis was like a heavyweight version of Tank Davis. Early, I was reading about how Joe Lewis broke multiple vertebrae and Max Schmeling's back. Like the power and the precision of Joe Lewis is something that the world hasn't seen before or since. There's not been a heavyweight that punches with that much precision since Joe Lewis. So Joe Lewis will crumple Usyk with a body shot, probably break a couple bones in his back. A
Nah, Joe
lot of
Lewis
people
can
don't want
hit
to hear
hard,
that.
but
That's the truth.
Usyk footwork, it might confuse him.
It
His
doesn't
technique.
matter. You think you could? You know the saying, you can run but you can't hide.
Yeah.
Joe Lewis invented that. That was his saying. Joe Lewis said you can run, but you can't hide. Yeah, and Joe Lewis, he would have dominated for longer, but he went in and supported the war.
Yeah, Joe Lewis
He
is like a
didn't have
short
to do
stop.
that. But listen, Joe Lewis would have, Usyk probably would have won the first couple rounds, like maybe 2 or 3 rounds. Joe would get him into a corner. I watched Joe Lewis fight. I was watching a Joe Lewis fight today. Joe would get him into a corner, put his head in his chest, and hit him with the hardest and precise body shots that Usyk ever been hit with. Usyk got hit with shots that weren't even precise by Joshua and by Dubois and got hurt. He really lost to Dubois. Joe Lewis is Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois with a better technique, better fundamentals, better timing, and more speed. When I tell you that he will crumple Alexander Usyk, he would. Now Joe Frazier, I don't know. Usyk probably could beat Frazier. Usyk probably could beat Ali if you catch him on a bad night because Ali was so gifted that he would have fights where he wasn't even fully focused. Ali would be messing with 4 or 5 women the same night of the fight. So
You think
Usyk catch
Foreman can
Ali
beat
on the
Usyk?
right night, he probably could get him. You know what I mean? But Joe Lewis would fold that man in
What
half.
about Foreman?
Oh man, come on, bro.
What?
Foreman would destroy Usyk.
Hey, I don't know about
Listen,
Usyk
bro.
passes.
You have to understand something. Prime George Foreman walked through everybody but Ali. Ali had so many tricks in his bag. We haven't seen fighters like that. Like Ali is a legendary fighter. He's not a regular fighter. Usyk is a legendary fighter for this era, an era of weak heavyweights. Ali was in the era of the best heavyweights, one of the most competitive eras for heavyweight. He was legendary in that era. You can't compare it.
That's a fact. That's fact. That's fact. You ain't telling nothing crazy. That's
He
a
said
fact.
Foreman is just a smaller Bacoli, or Bacoli is a bit. Foreman is a better boxer than Bacoli.
Oh, because
Foreman
okay,
has
I gotta go, bro.
better
I gotta go. I'm finna go to my family.
Bacoli.
I'm finna have a party and
Hmm?
yeah. Peace out, KJ. I'm finna have my family have a party for
Oh, you
Christmas.
good, man. Peace, man. Enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah. Peace out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be live until like 12, man, because I know I'm gonna post this on YouTube. They said Mike Tyson versus Usyk. I don't know. If Mike Tyson doesn't knock him out early, he's gonna lose because Mike will get frustrated. Mike Tyson is a fighter that you can frustrate, but Mike Tyson was a hellacious body puncher, so I think he would stop Usyk to the body. See, Usyk has fought power punchers who don't have good technique. If he fought a power puncher with technique, whether in the Joshua or the Dubois fight, if they had real good technique, he would have got stopped. He really got stopped by Dubois. Yeah, he really got stopped by Dubois, man. Usyk is great, but Usyk is a beneficiary of being in a weak era, and that's just the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but that's the truth, man. Yeah, we don't got too many people in here tonight, but I'm gonna just push the live myself because once again, this is my YouTube content. I think Fury got dominated. I think Fury should retire. I think it's time for Fury to retire. Usyk don't like body punches. Nobody likes body punches, but Usyk, he really doesn't like body punches. and it's not good for his style. So yeah, Dubois stopped him. If Usyk fights Dubois again and he beats him, that's gonna be great for his legacy. You think he can beat Dubois in a rematch? Yes, but I don't think he could beat Bacoli in any match. I think Usyk will beat Daniel Dubois in a rematch, but he will not beat Martin Bacoli in any match. If Usyk were to beat Daniel Dubois in a rematch and then challenge Martin Bacoli and defeat him, now we have to start arguing that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. Is that Tank fight really canceled? I don't know. I'm not one of these guys who's gonna act like I got knowledge that I don't got. I don't know. I respect Joe Louis, but he's not beating Usyk. Do you watch Joe Louis fights? Before we go forward, do you watch Joe Louis fights? Most people don't even watch Louis fights. Joe Louis is not Ray Robinson. A lot of his fights are on YouTube. You can go watch them. You can analyze them. He will fold Alexander Usyk in half. Okay, what's the last Joe Louis fight that you watched? What's the last Joe Louis fight that you watched? Since you claim you watch his fights. Say he need to stay far away from Bacoli. Yeah, he need to stay away from Bacoli. A lot of guys are staying away from Bacoli. A lot of guys know that Bacoli is not the one, bro. He's not the one. If you want to beat somebody in boxing, if you want to last, you stay away from Bacoli. Bacoli been calling out. Bacoli said he already stopped Usyk and Joshua in sparring. He said Rocky Marciano versus Usyk. I think Marciano will beat Usyk. So we will potentially see Brandon versus KJ. No, we won't because KJ fights at 154. If you watch the Max Schmeling fight, first off, it took you too long to answer that. That's how I know you lying. If you watch the Max Schmeling fight, remember, in the rematch with Max Schmeling, Joe Louis broke vertebrae. He broke the bones of Max Schmeling's back. Remember that. People be saying Usyk over Ali. I'm going to tell you something, bro. If Usyk could beat Daniel Dubois and then beat Martin Bacoli, or if he were to go back down to cruiserweight and beat Beterbiev, Beterbiev comes up, you're going to have to put him up there with Ali. Usyk is a better boxer than Ali. He's not greater. He doesn't have more talent or skill. But Usyk is always in shape. He sticks to the game plan. He's not sleeping with a million women before the fight. My boy Keyboard Warrior stops you. Yeah, that's probably Keyboard Warrior right there. Talking the real deal 458. That's probably Keyboard Warrior's third account. Keyboard Warrior had blocked him twice. So now he probably made another account. You can stay Keyboard, just don't get disrespectful, man. When people get disrespectful, that's when I gotta put them in their place. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Usyk is a great fighter, but we can't really just compare him to them dudes back in the day, man. The era was different. KJ, what age is too late to start boxing? It's never too late. It's never too late, man. Because just because you start boxing don't mean you gotta go pro. When you going pro, I'm going pro this year. I actually had a fight January 17th. The guy backed out. They found somebody else. They ain't want to get in there with me because they know what I'm coming with. So the real deal says I'll tear you a new one. Pause. Pause. KJ, I'll stop you in two. I tell you what, man. When you start boxing, KJ, I've been boxing for a long, long, long time. Why can't we compare our era to the past? Were they really that deadly back then? Let me tell you something. Back then, they were getting paid less money. Showtime's good. Back then, they were getting paid less money, so they were doing it for the love of the sport. Back then, they were running 10 miles a day. Back then, they had to fight 15 plus rounds, or before that, they had to fight unlimited rounds. Back then, boxing was the most popular sport in America. So the competition was vast. When every kid is growing up trying to be a boxer, the talent level on average is going to be higher. The amount of dogs is going to be higher. It's like nowadays, if you're trying to go to the NBA, you're competing with damn near everybody. Everybody's trying to go to the NBA. That's how boxing was back in the day. Boxing nowadays, if you truly are great, you're going to be standing head and shoulders by yourself. Look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a generational fighter, right? But he's in a weak era, so he looks that much better. You throw Terrence Crawford back with Floyd and Oscar and them, he might already have a loss on his record. You know what I mean? You throw Terrence Crawford back with Ray Leonard and them, he might already have a loss on his record. So sometimes you can be generationally great, but you could be in a weak era. Terrence came up where boxing was losing popularity. Floyd brought back a little bit of spark to boxing, but for the most part, boxing is not, the number one sport in America, and it will never be the number one sport in America. You think Devin Haney gonna fight soon with everything that's happened recently? What do you mean that's happened recently? The fact that they coming for his girl? Do you think boxing will ever regain its spark? No. First off, America doesn't want to market boxing because it's too masculine. Do you think Bertabiev beats Usyk at cruiserweight? Yes. Malachi said my boy back. What's good, Malachi? Yeah, they ain't really push my live tonight, but I don't mind. I mean, it's Christmas Eve, so shit. I just wanted to get up here and talk boxing, post it on my YouTube when I'm done. Says I can't see Benavidez beating Bertabiev. I think Benavidez is gonna beat Beterbiev. I think Benavidez is gonna be younger, aggressive. The only way to beat Beterbiev is to be aggressive. And I think Benavidez has built up the punch resistance over the years to be able to take that heat. You know what I mean? But Beterbiev could beat Benavidez as well. If Beterbiev would have crushed Benavidez, then he's probably one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time. Do you think Benavidez could beat Bivol? Every time Benavidez and Bivol spars, he beats him. So, I mean, the sparring isn't everything, but you could tell even before Benavidez came out and said that he made Bivol get out of the ring early and all that. You could tell from the picture that Bivol was like in awe of Benavidez after they sparred. Like Bivol was showing not obeisance, but he was deferring. He was showing deference. Like this dude is better than me. Benavidez always says that shit though, bro. Benavidez is the truth. Every time he steps out there, he shows you the truth. The only time he didn't look that good is his first fight at light heavyweight, and he said he was dealing with a lot of injuries. Injuries are real in boxing. I don't even know why boxers go through in fights. Like, if you're not 100, it's not smart to fight as a boxer because the fans aren't going to give you any leeway. They're not going to say, wow, he's such a warrior. He fought while he was injured. They're going to say, oh, you look like trash. You didn't look good at all. They don't care about the injuries and all. They look at that as all excuses. Boxing fans are some of the harshest fans. You know why? Because they have never boxed and they will never box. So they can't really relate to the sport. So they're extremely harsh critics. They've never walked a mile in the shoes of a boxer, so they can't relate. So they don't really have sympathy for boxing. See, I think Benavidez with Bivol and sparring, he was like 16. Probably. I mean, they sparred recently too. When I say recently, I mean like probably 2 years ago, and Benavidez whooped his ass. So I got Benavidez to beat Bivol. If he fights Beterbiev and a year or two goes by, I'll have him to beat Beterbiev. But if he fights Beterbiev tomorrow, I think Beterbiev is going to beat him. I think Beterbiev has something magical in his hands. And David fought a dangerous fighter at 175. He fought a fighter that already got crushed by Beterbiev. But yeah, that guy probably is dangerous. I mean, it's a brand new weight class. But yep, man, I was just shocked. I knew that I thought Usyk was going to stop Fury, but Fury has so much. Fury has so much experience. He's a veteran. He knows how to stick around. Also, Usyk is getting older, so when he had Fury hurt, he couldn't really push the pace how he wanted, even though his pace was still pretty good. Said Beterbiev respected Bivol's power. No, he didn't. Once they had those exchanges, like when they were both trading, Beterbiev saw that he was winning those exchanges. He was jumping right back on Bivol. If he were to fight Bivol again, I see Bivol getting stopped because Beterbiev sees that Bivol can't really hurt him. He knows that he already knew he was a bigger puncher, but now he sees that not only am I a bigger puncher, but this dude doesn't really have any steam on his punches to back me up. So I think he's going to be even more aggressive in the second fight. Just like how Usyk was more aggressive in his second fight. I ain't gonna lie, that's the only person that made Benavidez look small or average size in the ring. Well, it's gonna be other people because remember, Benavidez was a weight bully at 168. Now he's at light heavyweight. There are other guys who are his size at light heavyweight. There was nobody at super middleweight that was his size. So he's never gonna look that big again while fighting at light heavyweight. But it's good because it's gonna test his skills. Do you think Benavidez stops Canelo at 68? Yes. Yes, I do. I never left Real Spill. I just haven't been able to go live. Benavidez will stop Canelo at 68. Canelo thinks that as well. That's why the fight isn't happening. But that's like beating a dead horse at this point. We all know that Canelo doesn't want to leave out on an ass whooping for his career. I can't say that I blame him. He's had such a great career. Who wants to leave out getting your ass whooped? Especially when it's unnecessary. It's not like Benavidez is going to bring Canelo a bunch of money. I mean, they're going to make money, but most of that is just going to be people paying to see if Canelo gets beat up. And I don't think Canelo wants to deal with that Floyd Mayweather dynamic. Most fighters can't deal with that dynamic where every fight they're only coming to see if you lose. A lot of humans can't deal with that amount of negativity. You know what I mean? You gotta be a special type of person. But yeah, man, I was just I was shocked. I didn't watch the fight 4 times. Um, I only gave Fury 2 rounds. For anybody to say that it was a robbery or it was a close fight, the fight wasn't even close, man. It wasn't a close fight. It wasn't competitive at all. A close fight is Devin Haney Lomachenko. Usyk, he put belt to ass on Tyson Fury. He put fist to face. You know what I mean? He put boot to butthole. Like Usyk really put his foot up his ass. See, I only gave Fury 3. I only gave Fury 2. Fury won anywhere from 2 to 4 rounds, and that's it. 4 rounds of being generous. So Canelo had more one punch power than David. It doesn't matter. Canelo doesn't knock out any of his opponents anymore. Canelo is an overrated power puncher. People act like he's Tank Davis or somebody. He is not. Canelo is an overrated power puncher. He hasn't knocked out his last 5 opponents. He's getting older, slower. You know what I mean? Less speed, less power. He telegraphs his shots. That's less power as well. You know what I mean? That's why he hurts guys but doesn't stop them. He doesn't have the stamina to push the pace. So Canelo just loads up and misses. For the most part, that's what he does. For the most part, he loads up and misses. And I'm not hating. I'm just telling people what it is. They remember the Canelo that knocked out Amir Khan. Amir Khan was smaller than Canelo, number one. But number two, that Canelo was gone. The Canelo that was knocking out Amir Khan, the Canelo that was ducking shots from Jacobs. You know what I mean? The Canelo that had the best head movement in boxing. That dude is gone. Says, and I fuck with Canelo heavy, but that's just a sad truth. Yeah, it's a sad truth. It's called for all the time. Usyk won 12-0. 12-0 is crazy. 12-0 is a little bit too much. Fury won the 10th round and the 5th round in my eyes. But he won at least 1 round. Why did Canelo's style change over the years? Well, Canelo's style hasn't really changed much. Only thing, after the Floyd fight, he learned how to fight off the ropes. He learned how to time himself a little bit better. But Canelo came out, he wanted to be a typical Mexican fighter, but then he started countering. You know what I mean? He started learning how to counter, how to contort his head and body in certain ways. He also learned how to really get those power punch counters going on. Like when Canelo counters you, he tries to put everything into the shot. He also learned about PEDs. But his style hasn't really changed too much. He's added little things here and there. At the end of the day, he is a counter puncher. That's what he is. He's a counter puncher with good strength, good dedication, good power. He doesn't like to jab too much. He used to have great head movement. Now he does. He barely moves his head. So I don't see David stopping Canelo. Well, you're not going to see David do anything to Canelo because Canelo's not going to have the balls to fight him. So it's not even worth arguing. So when we going to see you fight? I just fought, like a month or two ago, and I posted it. But I was supposed to be fighting January 17th. The guy found somebody else to fight, so it is what it is. I'm not somebody that shy away from fighting. Like, it's easy. Fighting is easy because I train hard. So it's not, I don't really care about going pro and this and that. I'm not scared or nothing like that. I think I'm gonna do great, marvelous. So was your fight good work? I posted the fight, Cyborg. You can go watch it. You can go to KJI TV in action here on TikTok, or you can go to my YouTube playlist where I say KJ's fights. I fought a dude who had like 130 amateur wins. He was a multiple-time national champion. I beat him. You know what I mean? It's on video. You can go to my tab here, or you can go to YouTube. It says Canelo's an all-time great. David not even close to Hall of Fame. In boxing, you cannot really credit people for what they've done. You know what I mean? You can say good job, but you cannot say, oh, because this man is a Hall of Famer, he's going to beat this other man. That's not how boxing works. Canelo could be great yesterday, and today he could be, a piece of shit out there because of Father Time. He's an athlete. He has a shelf life. Canelo's reaching the end of his shelf life. David Benavidez is nowhere near the end of his shelf life. He's actually in his prime. So you bringing up what Canelo did in the past makes no sense. So do you think it was good work? No, it actually wasn't good work. I won that fight rather easily. The fighter I was fighting was the most skilled fighter that I fought, especially defensively, but he was out of shape, so I won the fight easily. So it wasn't good work. I got better work in the gym than I did in that fight. Do you think Canelo going pro at 15 affected his longevity? No. It doesn't matter when Canelo went pro. His body was going to start breaking down in his early 30s because of his genetics. There are fighters who went pro at that age and they fought long, like Roberto Duran. They were dominant. You know what I mean? So there you go. Name fighters that would beat Canelo. I know it's definitely some. I just want you to name them. All the guys, that Osley dude, I don't know his name, Osley, the Cuban fighter at 168. David Morrell will beat him at 168. David Benavidez will beat him at 168. Those are guys that will beat Canelo. You know why? Because they're longer than them, faster feet, very powerful punchers. Canelo he could slay giants, but the giants that he slayed were from the UK. You know, the Liam Smith, the Caleb Smith, them dudes are slow. You get Canelo in there with a dude that could, with some footwork, he's going to lose. Of course, David Benavidez could stop him. They said Canelo could definitely beat Morrell. He probably could because of the experience, but David Morrell is dangerous because of the angles, the Cuban boxing school, the principles he's schooled on, the athleticism, the size. And Morrell about to get stopped. I actually think Morrell's going to beat David. I think if Morrell uses his footwork, he's going to beat David. It's going to be interesting to see this. David Benavidez and David Morrell might be the best fight in the last decade. Because you got two guys that are going to be willing to trade. You got two guys that are going to be willing to trade, man. Do you think Eddie Reynoso is a good coach? Eddie Reynoso will show you how to use them pads, man. He gives you them syringes, so it depends. If you're into that type of stuff, then yeah. I'm not, so I can't say that he's a good coach. Do you think Eddie Reynoso? Oh, you already asked me that. But yeah, man. I'm gonna probably end the live earlier than I thought and just post a nice little 30-minute video on YouTube. When does Morrell fight Benavidez? I think February 1st. February 1st. It's gonna be amazing. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. There ain't too many people in here, but that's expected. It's about to be Christmas, and plus I haven't been live, so sometimes TikTok doesn't really send my live out. But I just wanted to pretty much go over why I think Fury got dominated, why I think it was 10-2. We also touched on a few other boxing topics. And I'll be posting this on YouTube, just to keep my YouTube channel active as well. I appreciate everybody that was in here, asking questions, helping to push the live. And y'all enjoy the holiday. I don't celebrate Christmas, but y'all enjoy the holiday if you do celebrate it. And good night.